Hello, my name is Tamika Moore, and I am going to talk about and outline my signature project from ED 508. I have been working in public schools for over 8 years, and I have observed teachers using various teaching methods to meet the needs of students in the classroom. Currently, I am a pre-K teacher in the Huntsville City Schools District, and I believe in using physical education to teach students. I have seen traditional forms of teaching as well as modern methods of teaching. In my signature project, I propose to collect data and analyze why it is important to incorporate physical activity into the school day. The goal of this research project is to prove that physical activity can increase academic scores in reading and math. I have seen teachers deny students physical activity such as recess and PE for various reasons. If children are given the appropriate amounts of physical education, they will increase their rate of being successful in school when it comes to academics. The goal of this proposal is to prove that students who do not receive adequate amounts of exercise every day have lower assessment scores in addition to weak performance in school. This research presentation will examine students that are active to those that are inactive and will conclude that students who are physically active have a higher rate of success. A study conducted by DeGriff in 2018 found evidence that physical education can assist with better cognition of attention and memory. Over time, a need for students to spend more time on academic success has been pushed into the school system, and teachers are using recess and physical education time to focus on academics. According to more research, students who operate at a higher fitness level perform better when it comes to working memory and score higher on standardized tests such as math and reading. The data that was presented in this research proposal was the STAR reading and math scores from the beginning of the 2019-2020 school year. The math assessment showed that 14% of students were on watch, intervention, 22% of students were urgent intervention, and 22% showed intervention, and 42% showed at or above benchmark. The reading assessment showed that 8% of students were on watch intervention, 18% were urgent intervention, and 6% showed intervention, and 68% showed at or above benchmark. I believe that incorporating physical education can help to increase the scores in reading and math for those students that are struggling. So I propose the plan of teachers to incorporate more physical activity into the daily lesson. The physical activity can be incorporated in two ways. The first way is for all students to attend PE and incorporate recess. If the students encounter rainy days, then the teacher would allow the students to engage in a program called Go Noodle. The source of the data again is from my second grade STAR assessment for reading and math. The data shows that a total of 32% of children need intervention in reading and 58% need intervention in math. The current data shows that students are struggling in reading and math, and I believe that physical education can increase student scores. For this study, the following research question was addressed. Will physical activity increase math and reading scores? As part of this study, the investigation included one research hypothesis. Physical education will increase academic scores in reading and math among second grade students. I used a mixed method study about the independent variable, which is the student physical activity, and two dependent variables, student fitness level and students' academic achievement. The intent is to investigate student physical activity and determine the effects of student physical activity on students' fitness and academic performance. According to Code 2013, students who are exposed to physical activity perform better in reading and math. Not only can students participate in PE and recess, but physical activity can be used when teaching a new skill. Jumping, clapping, and stomping can be used to teach reading and math, And I know this because this was something that I did in my pre-K class to teach rhyming, CVC words, as well as blending. The sampling in the project will include one of the second grade classes who are participating in physical activity. The sample represents 22 of the 51 students in second grade. The sample will also include data from the students who receive physical activity and those who do not. This data will show the student scores at the beginning of the first semester on second grade level benchmark. The role of the students is to engage in classroom learning over the fall semester. The participants will participate in a regular routine for half of the semester with no physical activity being added to the schedule. The instructors will continue to monitor the students in math and reading by observation. During the last part of the semester, students will have physical activity incorporated into the daily routine. By the end of the semester, students will participate in the STAR assessment for a second time, and the instructor will compare the data from the STAR assessment from the beginning of the semester to the STAR at the end of the semester. The data should show an increase in math and reading scores. The STAR assessment is an online assessment program for students in grades kindergarten through 12th grade. This assessment tool will evaluate students' math and reading skills, and this program gives immediate results. The results consist of students that are at or above benchmark, on watch, urgent intervention, and intervention. Students that score anything other than at or above benchmark show that additional support is needed to increase math and reading scores. Therefore, the data can be analyzed to determine if physical education should be incorporated into the daily lesson to help with the math and reading scores. Collaborative resources will consist of 3 different elements. The instructors will be used as the first resource. They will be accountable for implementing instruction, observing students' attention span, ensuring that participants take the STAR assessment, and examine the data. The second segment is that the district will give access to the STAR. This resource will be used to complete the progress monitoring assessment. Lastly, the facilitator will observe the students for attention span and memorization skills during instruction. The primary function of the resources is to be able to incorporate physical activity into the daily lesson to increase math and reading skills. Any information that is obtained during this observation will be kept private. The only participants that will have access to this information will be certified administrators. The population is an elementary school in the Huntsville City Schools District. The makeup of the school consists of grades pre-K through 5th grade. The second grade level consists of 51 students, and they are divided into 3 classes. Only one of the classes will be observed. The school consists of 60% Caucasian, 30% African American, and 12% Hispanic. There are no students that require mobility assistance that would hinder them from participating in physical activity or their daily learning. At the completion of this study, data will show that physical education can increase math and reading scores. I believe that if this action plan had been completed, it will show an increase in the STAR assessment after teachers have incorporated physical activity into the daily lesson. I feel like adding physical activity into daily lessons could be fun and help the students retain information that has been taught. To see the student achievement growth, I will probably extend the research proposal into the end of the school year and collect that data from the STAR assessment. I would also extend physical activity to science to make it more meaningful.